Hello, friends. Here I am in my Saturday comfies, working in my studio, getting ready to head to Mexico for the Stampin' Up! Incentive trip. We leave bright and early on Monday morning. Well, dark and early, really. We have to leave for the airport at 2:30 a.m. Don't even. Anyway, I've been working on getting some videos ready for you so that we can get excited about the launch of the new catalog, which happens while I'm away. So today you are going to see, well, I'm going to share a bunch of videos throughout the week, but today we're all about one of the new in colors. I think it might be my favorite. It's really hard for me to choose because I really love them all. But this particular in color is, I think, one of my favorites. It is the in color Summer Splash. Now, this color is a beautiful sort of aqua color, and I've got sun and sand and beaches on my mind. So it was my first go-to color because, well, Summer Splash is perfect for beach weather and summer weather. So I thought I would share this a project with you. I'm going to show you a few other projects, and then throughout the day, today on my social media feeds on Facebook and Instagram, you are going to see lots of samples using this fabulous color. So let me flip my camera view here and show you. Here we go. All right. So here I've got Summer Splash sort of mixed in with three of our other core colors. Now I want you to guess which one is Summer Splash. Might not be as easy as you think. So I'll give you a hint. This one's Pool Party. This one is Lost Lagoon. So we have two colors here in the middle, which are kind of close. So Summer Splash is actually this color here. So this one's Coastal Cabana. So you can see Summer Splash is a little bit bolder, has a little bit more of a green hue than the Coastal Cabana, which is a little bit more blue. But I thought I always like to be able to compare other colors that we have so I can see how Summer Splash fits in sort of the grand scheme of our color family. So that is the Summer Splash. It is a beautiful teal color, or aqua, for lack of, I don't know, aqua, teal. Aren't they kind of the same? Anyway, we are going to make this card today. So this is a fabulous combo using Summer Splash, and it uses a new stamp set. Actually, it's a new bundle from the catalog called Seaside Wishes. Now, this comes with a hybrid embossing folder, which allows you to cut these fantastic sand dollars. Oh my goodness. They cut and emboss in one pass through the machine. This is quickly becoming a go-to bundle for me. So let's put this card together. You're going to see a whole bunch more with this bundle during my live launch party, which is happening on Tuesday, May the 7th. But I just wanted to show you this bundle for now, or show you the stamp set. I'll show you the whole bundle during my live launch party, but I thought I would show you this. So let's get to the card. So to start, I have a piece of Seaside Splash cardstock. It's cut to 4 by 5¼ inches. And then I've embossed it using the new swirly, I think it's called. I've got it right here. So swirly embossing folder. And it leaves this really fun sort of wave-like impression in our cardstock. So we're going to add a little bit of pretty Peacock ink to this panel. It feels so weird doing a video when I'm not live. I'm keep looking for comments and there's no comments coming up because I'm not live. Yeah, it's weird. Anyway, I'm going to come in with my blending brush and my pretty Peacock ink, and we're just going to kind of come around the edges of our Summer Splash cardstock and look at how beautifully the pretty Peacock and the Summer Splash work together. Such a fantastic color combo. So we'll just come all the way around. I'm not going to do the center because I still want to be true to that Summer Splash color. I want to make sure I have some of that true color on my project as well. So there we go. There is our inked cardstock. Get that out of the way. And next, we are going to work on this little element here along the bottom. So this is just Crumb Cake cardstock. And it started out, what was it? Probably an 1.5 inch wide strip, 1.5 inch by 4. And then I tore one long edge. And I feel like I need to just clean this up a little bit. Okay, and what we're going to do is add a little bit of texture to it using one of the sort of pebble stamps, the stamp here in the stamp set. So I'm going to use a bit of tone-on-tone stamping. So I'm doing Crumb Cake on Crumb Cake. And what I love about these pebble stamps is you can kind of make them look like they're interlocking. It's really kind of neat the way they, I don't know who designed these images, but they're pretty darn cool because it doesn't really matter which way you stamp your first image. You can somehow make it so that they line up. It's amazing. So I'm just kind of coming all the way across here. And I am purposely turning my stamp because I don't want it to look all the same, right? This is supposed to sort of simulate the bottom of the ocean. So it's pretty random. And then I'm going to come in with a blending brush and I'm going to just lightly ink this just to soften those images a little bit. All the way around. And I want to make sure I get that long edge as well because that torn edge, I really love that. And if you add a little bit of ink to it, it just makes the torn texture stand out that much better. There we go. Okay. All right. So that is that. Now that is going to get adhered along the bottom edge of our background piece. So I'm going to use a little bit of liquid glue here. There we go. Oh, let's get that nice and straight. And then that, before we add any other elements, is going to get glued onto a pretty Peacock card base. It's 4¼ by 11 inches, scored in the middle at 5½. So we'll fold that in half along our score line. And add a little bit more glue. There we go. Okay, now we get to do a little bit of floral arranging, but with sea life. So I have a whole bunch of seaweed here that I've cut. So the hybrid embossing folder includes several dies. This 3 different sizes of seaweed, these little starfish, which actually coordinate with the stamp set. And then, of course, we get these beautiful sand dollars. So before we do anything, we are going to add just a hint of Crumb Cake ink to our sand dollars, just to soften them down a little bit so they're not quite so stark white. I am not adding much at all because I still want them to come across as white, just not quite so neon white. So there we go. There's one. And again, the beautiful thing about adding the ink is it really brings out the texture that is embossed into these sand dollars. I'll hold them up in a minute so you can see them up close. And one more. There we go. All right. So here you can see on this one, can you see that beautiful texture in there? Isn't that gorgeous? It looks like a real sand dollar. Like, it's amazing. All right. So these are going to get arranged on the front of our card. So the largest one is going to get glued flat. These 2 are going to get popped up. And then we're going to kind of arrange our seaweed and our starfish after we get the sand dollars on. Before we do, we're going to stamp on our die cut starfish. So these little guys, I've die cut ahead of time. And I'm just going to, now the tricky thing, I like to do this little trick. Oh, there we go. Is that going to line up? I think so. Nope, not quite. It is a little bit of a magic trick to line up. There we go. That's the way it goes. So I'm going to leave that just like that so I remember which way it goes. And we're going to ink this up. And I need to grab another block, a big block, to apply pressure. This is my little trick that I like to use with photopolymer stamps when I am stamping and die cutting. So I like to cut just a blank and then lay the die cut on top of the stamp and then press. And then you get a nicely aligned stamp, or stamp image, I should say. All right, and we're going to do the little guy as well. So we'll ink this one up. This one's a little, oh, I should have taken a second to line it up before I inked Oh, this could, oh, I think that goes. I think that works. We're going to hope. And again, a little bit of pressure. Oh, it worked. Look at that. Got lucky. Okay. So we've got our starfish. We are ready to arrange all of our sea life here. So we're going to start by gluing the largest sand dollar down flat. And I'm really just kind of putting ink or glue in the middle because I'm going to be adding little bits and bobs around it. And I want to be able to kind of still tuck in behind if I need to. So there's one. This medium one, we're going to add a couple of dimensionals right in the middle. Because again, I want to be able to tuck pieces in behind it as I'm arranging. So there's two. And then this little guy is going to go on here, but I'm going to add it last. All right. So first of all, we're going to add our large starfish, kind of peeking out behind the medium sand dollar. So I'm just going to add a smidge of glue there and tuck that in. And then we're going to do some seaweed arranging. So I like to have the ends kind of loose. You can actually curl them a little bit with your bone folder if you want to make them look a little bit more realistic. So this one's going to be kind of coming up from behind that sand dollar. It looks like it's floating right now. Don't worry, we're going to ground it. We're going to add a little bit more here. I'll tuck this one in here. And then we want one that's going the opposite way. So the thing about to make these seaweed look realistic is to crisscross them, right? Seaweed don't usually grow all in a nice tidy little row. So we want to make sure they kind of crisscross. And then we'll put one more little guy down the bottom here. Just gonna peel up my backing here, my layer, so I can tuck that in. There we go. And then these last two are going to tuck in behind this medium one. Just like that. Okay, and then this little guy is going to kind of come on here, and our starfish is going to tuck in behind. So this little bitty starfish, we're going to pop up with a mini dimensional. So right there. And then our little bitty sand dollar, I really only need one. Actually, I might do two. One down near the bottom. And then a little bit of glue where it's going to overlap the popped up one. So put that right about there. A little smudgy of something there. And then we're going to work on our sentiment. So this is just a 1/2 by, 4-inch, 5-inch strip. No, it's way more, maybe 6. Doesn't matter. The length does not matter. It's just a scrap. And we are going to stamp a sentiment as soon as I find it. Where did it go? Right in front of me. A sentiment from the Seaside Wishes stamp set. So we're using You Absolutely Made My Day. And I'm going to stamp it in pretty Peacock ink. So here we go. And then you can trim this with your paper snips. I'm going to cheat and use a long retired little bitty banner punch here to punch my ends into a banner. So we're going to go 1. I'm going to trim a bit of this excess off. And 2. And then that is going to kind of run across the middle-ish of the card, just about like that. So we're going to add a couple dimensionals where it's going to adhere to the background. And then just a little bit of liquid glue where it's going to overlap my popped sand dollar. There we go. And that's going to just kind of come, let's see if we can get a little bit of overlap here. There we go. Right about there. Let's just give it a second and make sure we're straight. There we are. And then the last little touch are some of these flat, they're pearls, but they're not like rounded pearls. They were part of a sweet from quite a while ago. They're still in the new catalog, and I'm really glad they are because I don't know when the last time was that I used them. And I dug around and I found well, not a whole pack, but quite a few that work really, really well with this bundle. So you're going to be seeing more of these. And I'm going to be ordering more of these because they are great. And they had just a little bit of color because of the iridescence. And they work so well with this color palette. So there we go. There is our finished Seaside Wishes card. Now, just so quick on the inside, I just did a little bit more ink blending and stamped a couple of starfish and some more pebbles. Okay, so that is our summer splash card. Let me show you a few more. So this card I did as a sort of a paint chip effect. And I used those 4 colors that I had out at the beginning. So Lost Lagoon, Summer Splash, Coastal Cabana, and Pool Party. And I used a stamp set called Country Flowers. Love, love, love that stamp set. I didn't think I needed it, honestly. And now it's the one I can't stop using. You're going to see that stamp set a lot this week. So there's one. Here's one that uses the new Country Birdhouse bundle. Super cute. Love. And then another fun one that uses a new bundle called Let's Go Shopping. No, Attention Shoppers. Attention Shoppers, it's called. And then one more using the new, what is it? Something Journey. Thoughtful Journey? Is that what it's called? Thoughtful Wishes. Thoughtful Wishes. I'm looking at my shelf here full of dies to get the names of these because they're new and I haven't got them all memorized yet. But lots and lots of fantastic possibilities with this beautiful new ink color. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. Be sure to come back tomorrow because I will be featuring another ink color. Bye for now.